I wanted to go live today with you to hear all of your comments, answer any questions you have all about our new setting video. So it's clear that this video has taken flight. It's got over 3 times the views within the first 4 hours as any of our other videos. So that tells me that you guys want to talk a lot about setting and hand setting rules and what they are and why different leagues have different rules. So all I wanted to do today is I'm going to use your comments as you jump in. I would love if you guys just go ahead, use the chat, use the comment section, whatever platform you're using, and I can talk to you right here. I know that it can't post to certain platforms like Facebook. It might not, you might not see our chat. Thank you, baby. Love you. But I will be able to read your comments, and what I want to do is just go piece by piece through your comments on YouTube. Hi, Shane Donahue. Good to see you, brother. Are you gonna come to the wedding or not, man? Come on, you gotta come. Anyway, so guys, use the chat, use the comments. If you haven't seen our video, what I'm going to do is I'm also going to post it right here so that you guys can check it out, so you guys know what we're talking about. But we made a video on hand setting rules, when you can double, when you can lift, when you can actually hand set, can you set on a first ball, and everything like that. So just want to talk to you guys about it and answer any questions. And we got 35 people with us live. So if you guys want to go ahead and use the comments or use the chat. Brandon is also hanging out. Come right in.
Howdy.
So we're going to get in there. Adrenaline Beach, you saw it. I like it. I just want to know what you think. So I'm going to share the screen, and I'm going to take you through our Facebook comments right here. So the first thing we're going to do is share the screen. What's up, Mark? Mark Rook, I like your name, buddy. I'm going to share this entire screen and show you guys what I'm looking at. So that's not what I'm looking at.
This guy's about to get buff.
He's buff. Okay, so you guys should be able to see my screen here, right? Looking at the comments. And the first thing I want to just do is go through the comment section. So Greg is asking us if we consider timestamping each category in the description. We actually did that. I know what you're talking about, going through a bunch of videos and saying, like, I know that it's in this video somewhere in the middle of an argument with a referee. So Tanya just placed timestamps on these videos so that like each topic is actually covered in there. So hopefully you guys can navigate it a little bit better. CBVA, and here's the big thing that we're all going to talk about, is CBVA has a completely different set of rules than the AVP and then the FIVB, and also I think the majority of amateur leagues, because I'm relatively certain, and let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, but all AVP America amateur tournaments, I believe they all go by the AVP rules. Which means that you can hand set a serve receive so long as it's clean. Your hands do not have to be together for a first contact. I know that I was playing in the championship of a CBVA run by Ed Ratledge, who is an AVP pro, and he was the tournament director. And I didn't put my hands together. I just blocked them for first contact, and somebody said that's a double. And I said, no, welcome to the real world. Like, I haven't been called for that double since I was in Long Island playing in the East End. And they said, according to CBVA, that is the rules. We know that you play in the AVP. And Ed Ratledge, who's on the AVP, is like, yeah, it's different rules for CBVA. So what we just want to know is if you are in an AVP America League, what rules are you guys playing with? And I don't want you to answer that if you're not talking to your tournament director, if you're just assuming these rules. But if you haven't spoken to your tournament director about specifically the hand setting rules, then don't jump in the conversation just
and
yet.
If you're not sure, that's a pretty good question to ask.
Yeah.
Because it is, I mean, that is the weird part about beach volleyball right now is that whether you're at the local, state, or national level, there are going to be different rules. So you just got to make sure you know which one you're working with.
Mm-hmm. So still a little confused. We're on 5 different platforms right now. Okay. So Mark, you said you're still a little confused on a fake set, but just placing it over the net. Saw it recently, and it was a back set, but straight over the net. Okay. So first, watch the video. We explained it a little bit. Okay. But if I'm facing directly this way, so if I'm facing you and you're the net, I can set over. I'm allowed to attack by setting over. I can also set straight behind me. But if you're now the net and I try to attack you with a hand set, even if it's clean, even if it's not a lift, not a double, and I try to attack like this, then that's illegal. That's illegal by me. If I send it over and I do it on accident, like I'm trying to set my hitter, but the wind blows it over, or I just miss, that's legal and play continues. So we keep going from there. And everyone's like, oh, well, you have to know what somebody was planning in their mind. Listen, if you're a half intelligent volleyball player and you set a high, slow ball over the net in front of your hitter, which is like near where their blocker is going to be, I'm going to pay the price for setting over because you now have a free ball anyway. And that's the spirit of the rule. Like, okay, if somebody accidentally sets it over the net, the other team's at an advantage anyway. So that's the spirit of the rule is how they go by a lot with the referees. Now, how do you compare hand setting in indoor versus beach? Brandon?
I mean, a lot of people would say that beach has gotten a lot more relaxed with calling hands. And I think it's still not even close to being what indoor is. And indoor, it's more redirecting than it is setting, in my opinion. Obviously, there are amazing setters out there that are very good at holding on to the ball a little bit and using it to disguise. But when you're talking about hands for indoor, normally you're going to see arms almost fully extended, and it's a lot of wrist and flicks. And like if they do hold, their arms are already up here. You're not going to see a lot of indoor setters bringing the ball down to their chin. And they're a little bit more lenient on hands because as long as it's quick and you're kind of slapping the ball around, it's almost impossible for that up ref to judge whether it was a double or not. And it's so quick that it obviously can't be a lift. So that's why you've started to see a lot of indoor hands. We don't really even have that conversation anymore about how it's loosened up. On the beach, that's what they're trying to get to, I think, is they want hand contacts. Because even if you watch back in the 90s, any beach volleyball tournaments, they're a little bit higher, and it's kind of people meeting balls rather than holding on the balls a little bit. But we've kind of gone the opposite route and decided that, okay, I'm going to hold the ball for a little bit longer. And I think the main reason for that is to find a little bit more precision on where the set is planning on being located. But yeah, I mean, the biggest difference is just how long the setter is actually contacting the ball. In indoor, you're seeing it released, if not even being held, very quickly. And then on the sand, you're seeing people collect it a little bit more to try to avoid that double.
So Miles La, I think you're on our email list too, which is cool. Look at this. So we're replying online. I don't know how this is working. Can you guys see that I'm replying to something on the screen? Are you playing in CBVA? So there are fours rules, right? Sometimes when you're playing ace out in California and you receive, no matter how clean it is, you can't receive with open hands, but that's for fours. There is no governing fours body yet. But I think it's going to come if the McKibbins keep posting cool fours tournaments.
I've seen a lot of people, especially in California right now, the high-level fours tournaments are starting to they're starting to become pretty popular. It'll be kind of interesting if they have to make their own separate rule book. I mean, heck, if they're going to make one for spike ball and cross that, they might as well do one for four-man.
Yes, they should. Okay, Kumi. Welcome back. Haven't heard from you in like 12 hours. The argument tends to happen in a lower level tournament when often there's no blocker at the net. An overset happens and some people call it illegal. Yeah, that's true. So that is, I still think CBVA, you're allowed to set over accidentally. Some tournaments and tournament directors, they just kind of, here's what people do, right? The rules are complicated. And regardless, I don't know how to get rid of this. Hide messages from the stream. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to figure out how to work some stuff.
Yeah, probably from the stream. Yeah.
Oh, cool. So we can upload your stuff. Tournament directors try to make rules that are easy to ref because people aren't trained referees. So it takes a lot to be a ref. Like my dad is an indoor ref and studies and watches film and goes through all these different film situations where they say like, what would you call? And he spends hours on this just to prepare for like a middle school refereeing match. Now you're asking people who just play, who have never been through a single refereeing course, who have only heard from the rest of the players that they play against what a rule is supposed to be. And now they need to be the judge. Right? That's like me being a legal judge. Yeah, I know most of the laws. I think it's pretty illegal to kill somebody. So somebody should go to jail, right? Like, am I qualified to be a judge? No, I haven't gone through the training, but that's the nature of the tournaments. You have to figure out a way to make it easy for people to ref. And that's why a lot of these rules ended up kind of happening, being made. And still some tournament directors say like, you know what? In our group, it's a little bit easier. Me and Brandon even think that at level B and maybe A in some places in the country, you shouldn't call doubles like at all if somebody's trying to set. That way the level of the game, the number of people who are attempting the skill and getting better at it every day, that goes up. But there's so many people that refuse to set and they never learn the skill for 10, 20 years because they're afraid they'll get called for a double and lose a point.
Yeah, the way that I look at it is like, unless you're a hired ref, like one of my biggest pet peeves while I'm playing is when somebody makes a judgment call of a game that they're not a part of, you know, and if you're not, even if you're the ref and like that, it's not a verb. It doesn't mean that you should be calling as many plays as you can or anything like that. You're there to solve disagreements. So like, if at any time if it's a questionable play, then in my opinion, we should be letting people play through those and understand that, yes, it was questionable. Like, it's okay for you to say that as a referee. I actually like it when referees say that. Yeah, it was questionable, but I don't think it was bad. I think that's the way that I would rather it be, because to be honest, if people take that on themselves to make calls, then that's when the sport can kind of get ruined a little bit, in my opinion, because now the referees are earning more points than people that are actually playing. And so like Kumi, when you're talking about your example of setting the ball over the net in lower level tournaments, like kind of going back to what Mark said earlier, is you shouldn't be rewarded for not being ready to score a point on an easy play. You know, like, so even though that setter set the ball over the net, that should be a free ball for you, and you should be able to kind of win that point. But instead, we kind of look for ways out instead of earning points, and we look for the referee to give us points. And I think that that's kind of where the mentality we have to change is go more for earning points. And then if the team does something terrible, then that's when the ref will step in. But yeah, avoid making them make more calls than they need to.
Shane Donahue asks, other than me, who would you say has the best hands around? I actually don't love hitting off of Shane's hands.
I would say out of our friends,
like a
Shane's hands might be the worst.
Well,
Chris
is nice.
Eric Lucas doesn't trust his platform, but
yeah,
or it doesn't trust his hands.
Hud's a great setter.
Hud is a great setter.
Hud is a great setter from anywhere.
Yeah.
Shane Donahue, sorry, you're not the best setter in the Mafia.
Sorry about it, dude. Get back to checking mold.
Check some mold. Wagner played with a lot of different skill levels. I just let everyone call at their own skill level. That's not bad, but that doesn't work for a tournament, right? Just at some point, there's going to be an argument or a discussion. And it is good to start practices by saying, like, hey, guys, are we going to call this or not? I think the groups, Dan does this, I think, where he says with the playing group, guys, let's just agree that we're going to call our own or not call doubles during today's session. Like if you want to learn setting, take 1 day of training during the week and just don't call doubles so that everybody can do it at every moment. It's a way better way to learn it. And not everybody who's watching here has the time to actually practice. So your play time is your only practice time. So you might as well just kind of combine those.
I think that's a good mentality moving into practice, though, and it'll take your energy away from arguing against people's bad hands, and instead you'll be able to focus on your own play.
This is interesting. Joshua, good question. Are the official rules in writing different in beach versus indoor, or are they just enforced differently and more of a cultural difference? Well, they're definitely different. Written in terms of, can I set over? Can you attack with a set, open hand, finger action? There's no finger action written anywhere in a rule book for indoor, but it comes a lot into play in the beach volleyball rule book. So they are definitely written. But as far as the actual like act of setting a hitter, no. Oh, but you can open hand, you can one-handed set somebody in indoor, but you can't in beach, which I've never, it's not a double, it's not a lift, it's just action. Illegal.
You can spike it to someone, but you can't use your finger.
You can't use your finger. I talked to John King about that years ago.
That's probably the bigger difference, I'd say.
Yeah. Good question, though, Josh. Gino, he just wants the setting rules from the 90s to come back. True that, man.
That would be great for me.
And side out scoring? It's just impossible to win a tournament.
That would be bad for me.
You guys get a chance to call out your tournament directors right now. There are tournament directors that can't finish a 12 or 16 team tournament in a single day. Now you want to add side out scoring. It must have been a mess in the 90s.
Y'all are me playing 1 game to 3.
Games to 3. It must have been a mess. And if the last match before you finishes and you take longer than 15 minutes to serve your first ball, you are a virus in the beach volleyball world. You're infecting people with your slow nonsense. Get ready, get on the court so people don't have to go home at 10 p.m. after their tournaments, right? And then like spouses and girlfriends stop hating the sport because you're like, it took your entire set. I hate it. Just get on you're not going to learn volleyball in that day. So just get on the court and go. And don't call it an AVP warm-up either, because AVP warm-ups are significantly shorter than anything that ever happens at a Gav or a East End. Shane versus Phil in terms of setting.
I'm going to go ahead and take Phil. I like Shane a little bit more, but yeah, I'm going to take Phil.
Comparable real estate portfolios, though, between Shane Donahue and Phil Dahauser. So I want to know that. Apologize. Setting rules, okay. Aaron, will hand setting be used more for attack in the future as you can really catch the defense? Yeah, Aaron, I think so. The way the game is moving, we're going to speed offenses. We're going to have combination offenses. And one of the scenarios that I do want to discuss and maybe we can get a ref on here is, let's say that you speed set your partner, right? Like I'm standing at half court on the sideline. My partner is running a speed set, but in the middle of the court. So I fire it to him, but he intentionally swings and lets the ball go so that it goes over the net behind him and falls for a kill. The blocker jumped with him. Is that intentionally setting over?
You're not square.
You're not square. Because then your hitter made your intent
Huh. Yeah, I have no idea.
That's unique, right?
That's a tough one. Yeah.
It's unique.
Not sure.
So what would happen there? Do you guys have any votes? Are there any refs watching? Suzanne
Where's our boy?
Lowry, Vandermeer, JM, where are you guys at?
JM at?
Okay. Now, Mark Rook, you asked, so a hitter is taking a glance at the other side of the net before he hits, but should a setter be trying to do the same, just trying to hit the setter in the hitter's sweet spot? Yeah, Mark, we teach that in our offense class and especially in our setting class. So, Mark, I'm just going to add a link to you right here. Hopefully it posts, but it's www.betterandbeach.com/how to set a volleyball. This is a 30-day blueprint for setter training. Okay. I'm also going to send it to everybody. So if you guys haven't taken our 30-day setting course, I mean, it's 30 days. We give you all the drills. We give you the exercises you should do, and you get to film all of your drills, film your in-game setting, and then you bring it to the meetings so that we can actually coach you and give you live feedback on your hands. So if you ever said like, hey, is this a carry? Is this a carry? What about a double? Is this? Well, now with our new membership, and I'm posting it right down there, how to set a volleyball. With our new membership, you're literally going to meet with me on camera where I can coach you through all of the skills and things like that. So if you want to learn how to set, I just posted it, betterbeach.com/how to set a volleyball. That gives you all the information for our setting program, but that's one of 11 programs inside of our membership. And that one takes 30 days. Don't skip any of the drills. So I hope you guys join that. All right. So Mark, like I said, we covered that in the course, but if you want to know like how you should approach a set, yes, you should see the pass. You should let the ball go of you so that you follow the pass. You don't wait for the pass. Big difference, right? Yeah, like a wide receiver in the NFL. Like you should run under it, let it get in front of you, and then you should push it, because that's going to help you with your vision. Anytime that you can keep an eye and you could say like, wait a second, this is wide open. I can stand and hit over on one, or stand and hit over on two for an easy point. You should. Now, if you're waiting at the net and looking at your passer instead of following your pass in, you're not going to be able to see that. So you don't have an opportunity from to. Anytime there's a chance for an easy point, you should take it. And I'm very glad that you do pokey one-handed sets. Why is one hand illegal? Why is one hand illegal? It's not written. According to John King, the AVP head ref.
You can poke, you can slap.
Yeah, but it's the finger action that they call.
Action.
Yeah, it's.
But why can't you do it with one hand if you can do it too?
I don't know. That is a great question, Matthias. We'll get to the bottom of it. Promise. Oh, there we go. Greg says bring back side out scoring, but also bring back the clock.
Ooh.
Yeah, we could do some clock games. That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
Maybe we'll make a video
post
on that. Okay. MLBVA. Doug, where is MLBVA? Doug Stare. Milwaukee?
I don't know.
Oh. We play loose rules until a team has 15 points so that we can all learn to handset. I waited 30 years to start learning. Doug, Mount Laurel Beach Volleyball Association in Mount Laurel, New Jersey.
Huh.
Cool. Doug, that's pretty dope. I actually like that.
I like that.
Playing loose to 15 and then then we can start calling. I
like that quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm down with that. Nice job, Doug. I like that idea. Play loose rules until 15.
Doug, are you the tournament director up there, or do you just participate in tournaments?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Doug, if you are the tournament director or the league director, we want to talk to you about our affiliate program, see if we can put a bunch of extra money in your pocket. We get a great affiliate program for members and people who are kind of community heads for beach volleyball. All right. Okay. One hand with fingertips is only legal when all fingers are rigid and together. That's a one-handed attack. Still not a set. Still doesn't have.
Stefan?
Yeah. Stefan's great. He's fun with some rules.
Is he a ref, or is he just reading the rule book?
I don't know. Stefan, are you a ref or are you just reading the rules? Setting program is awesome. Thanks, Sandra. Thanks for joining the live stream here. Appreciate that. We're still going and we're meeting tomorrow. Now, hard driven. You want to talk about the hard driven overhand dig. Guys, some questions on hard driven overhand digs. We'd love to answer them. Do they call one-handed sets a lift? Maybe. I don't know. Woo, president, head coach, player. Doug, would you mind sending me an email at mark@betteratbeach.com? I would just love to talk to you, see what you need, and see if there's anything that we can offer. Maybe do like an email exchange with each other. But we've got a really, really cool affiliate program that'll definitely help the players in your leagues, and it'll help you earn some extra money just by sharing
or all the people,
good courses
or
that
all
people
the people
want.
in your country, because he's the president. So maybe it's just big. President of America.
All of your country. Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right, guys. So if you guys don't have any other questions, I got about 2 minutes, and then I'm going to head out. But I did want to go through some of the comments that we had on the YouTube actual video. Hopefully you guys have seen it already. If not, we posted it on Volley Chat, so you can rock it there. How do you guys get external rotation better in your arm swing? Thatcher.
That's not about setting or overhand digging.
Hang on, Thatcher. Better at beach.
Gotta listen and practice the dance to twist and shout.
Your arm swing. Oh no. Hang on, Thatch. I'm going to try to pull up our page for you. But listen, here's how to fix your arm swing. If you want more external rotation, go to betteratbeach.com right now. Okay. If you're not a part of our email list, you could just jump on the email list. But if you go to that website, betteratbeach.com, it shows you the membership and it shows you all of the courses that are within it. So if you have any concern about your attack, your arm swing, I guarantee you that the two programs we have, the side out program and the fix your arm swing program, are going to solve 99% of the questions you have. The other 1% of the questions you have, you get to answer with us or ask with us in the live meetings. So if you're trying to upgrade your swinging, your offense, there is no reason why you shouldn't be in that group with us, because we're meeting once a week. You get to film all of your exercises, you get to film all of your attacks, and we go over it in the online meetings. So I will literally give you an analysis on your arm swing if you come to those meetings. So if you go to betteratbeach.com, sign up, you get 11 courses, 11, okay? And fix your arm swing and the attack one are included. And you're going to get 53-ish practice plans, so that you'll know like exactly what drills after that program you can continue doing. And you get to do it with us live online. So if you haven't joined that membership, we have 204 members currently, and we'd love to add you to that list. And Sandra, who wrote here before, she said that she's got no regrets. So that goes for fixing arm swing, external rotation, all the exercises that come with it. Go ahead in there. You're welcome, Thatcher. Appreciate it. Hard-driven ball must not be played double in reception. Only prolonged contact is allowed. No, you can double. Oh, in reception, in receiving, Stefan. Correct. Yeah, there is no hard-driven ball, technically, from a serve. That's important. All right, Gino just signed up for mailing list. Cool, man. You're going to get a few emails talking about the 9-day challenge. If you were here and you had some questions, take that 9-day challenge quick. Sign up for it immediately, and then you can start with your first 2 lessons and your first drill set. So open those emails. Make sure that when you do open the email, we're out of spam. Look in your spam, look in your promotion stuff, and go in there. And if any of you guys go ahead for that 9-day program. All right. Concerning overhand fingers, forgot that important exception. Aaron, yeah, I know we're killing it. That's why we need to be on your podcast, man. You send an invite
last week. He's ready for us.
Yeah,
you have us both on there.
You send an invite and then you never followed up. We're ready. We could have been doing this right now, but with you. Next time. All right, guys. I'm just going to answer a few comments that were recently written on that actual YouTube video that we wanted to be looking at. So I'm going to share this with you guys and do it up, yo. Now you should be seeing that. Okay. So let's see. Oh, look at this. I could put my picture in picture here. There we go. All right. So again, Craniel said that the CBVA rule is different. Yes, CBVA rules are different. Chris Brown will not budge on changing the rules according to FIVB or AVP. He likes the rules the way they are. So CBVA rules are different, which means that if you're watching AVP or FIVB and then trying to play that way, you need to talk to your tournament director to make sure that you know those rules. So those are good questions to ask. And if you ever get into an argument, don't argue with the rest of the players on your court. Go to the tournament director. They should have a rule book on hand, or they should be able to quell that situation relatively quickly. All right. This was a good one. Brent Bates said, spin, I get that spin is an indicator, just an indicator. However, I've had several experienced players that place in big tournaments tell me that even slight ball spin directionally forward or backward in an open hand set is still called as a double. That's not true. Again, it's really difficult to argue with other players around us who are not trained as referees and don't have a rule book on them, because they're the players that just learned by word of mouth from other people. Okay. Now, let's get into the ones that I haven't responded to. Joe Chen said, I didn't realize that setting the first ball was legal, but it makes sense that we should use the same rules as the second ball. Yes, I agree with you, Joe. Just remember that it might not be legal in certain leagues, so check with your tournament director. All right. Isaac Pena. You got to come, man. You just got to come to Hermosa. Come hang out with us. We got private lessons. We'll set you up. I know you comment on every one of these videos, and I love it, but it's time to make the call. All right? Time to make the call. So come on. We're waiting for you. I'm going to respond in kind. All right. Ivandro's jump serve should be fair game for hand setting. Any ball that has a chance to leave the ball's logo on my chest for a week earns that right. Do you hear that?
Yeah.
That's a
very true statement.
Top comment nominee. I agree. Some people serve so hard where it is like kind of a reaction. And some of the refs, I remember they were giving one seminar talking about like, well, what is reaction time? Because he noted Misty May, and he was like, she had the ability to make people look like children with her high hands defense, just like easily settable. So it looked like she had control and then it wasn't a reaction. So what's the difference there? But they kind of take that with a grain of salt when they're training refs. And as well, like you have to determine if it's hard driven, how much space you have, because hard driven from 30 feet away is different than hard driven from 15 feet away. So they want the play to continue. They just don't want you to have an unfair advantage when it comes to
There's a difference
setting.
Between reacting and being slow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thatcher says, any advice for a 14-year-old who wants to play college and pro? Yes. Get a coach, get coaching
now, and
get reps. But don't try to make up stuff. Don't try to like watch video and say, yeah, I think that's what they're doing, so I'm going to do that. Because I'll tell you a little story about Todd Rogers and Phil Dowhauser. Todd Rogers had a slap tear in his shoulder. I've said this at a few camps. But in East Beach and Santa Barbara, where he was training with Phil every day, he was winning for 7 years straight. But he got a shoulder injury, and he couldn't like raise his hand out here. So he had to bring his hand like in front to avoid all of the pain to be able to hand set. And he said that the funniest thing happened because the year that he got the slap tear, at the end of that summer, every player in Santa Barbara would go and set like this. He would see all of these snake arms just coming forward and trying to set a ball because they're like, oh, well, Todd does it. And he does it like this because he lines the play up and he lines his target up with the elbow. And they're making everything up for why he had this technique and that it was intentional. Meanwhile, he couldn't pick his arm above his shoulder, period. So if you're going to go and watch videos instead of learn from somebody who will tell you why they're doing something instead of just seeing them do it and trying to correlate that with a reason, you're going to go in the wrong direction for a while. So my number one advice is get a coach, get somebody to guide you, and then be ready for hours and hours and hours of reps. That's it. Okay. And if you want to join us, obviously, that's why we made it, because we went through that. We went through guidance, then not guidance, and then guidance. And our best progressions are when you have somebody who is showing you one way, showing you, like putting a mirror up to your game and saying, this is where you need to be, instead of you trying to make it up for yourself. Because our ego and our own thoughts really get in the way. Better to use somebody on the outside. That's why husbands aren't marriage counselors. Like, you actually need a marriage counselor.
That would go great.
What is the little move you do with your hands immediately before your hands touch the ball? It looks like you drop your fingers. Okay. So that little move, we do this in our setting course, and you guys could do it at home as well. But we call it the cock back. So right here, this move where, like, if my hands are relaxed and now I just turn them without moving my elbows, just turn them. And I can do it from here too, right? This move means that your wrists and your fingers are starting to absorb the impact of the ball instead of your shoulders and elbows. Those soft hands, that's what soft hands are, not soft elbows. There's a big difference, and that's when people get called for lifts, when they try to absorb all the speed here instead of here. So you have to get very good at allowing the ball to take your hands to max stretch and then push out.
Maybe that's the biggest difference in indoor to beach.
Is that this
is elbow movement versus wrist movement.
And more solid.
Yeah.
And that jacks people up. Like, remember Friesmeyer?
Mm-hmm. He
would, like, one of our indoor setters would like melt the ball in his hands instead of keeping tempo. And if you do that too much in indoor, you ruin your whole team's rhythm. So I have a massage in 15 minutes. So I got to head out, guys. Thanks for joining. I hope you liked the video. Say goodbye to Brandon. We will be out there in internet land. So if you have any comments, go ahead and ask them. I have dedicated myself completely to you guys, the online community. And in doing so, we have a much, much, much stronger membership. And I hope you join. It's on betteratbeach.com right now. If you want to meet with me live, with video and you submitting your videos and taking the training courses and the 60-day max vertical course, go to betteratbeach.com right now, sign up for the membership, and I will see you live on Thursday at that meeting. All right. Have a good one, everybody.
See ya.